Hello, welcome back. Yesterday we talked about charts and graphs and how those are part of informational text and how they can help us gather information or prove an author's point that they're trying to make about something that has happened. And actually, after I filmed that video, I was thinking, a lot of us are actually seeing charts and graphs if we're watching the news about the coronavirus because they post them on the TV like every night. There's new numbers and new graphs and who's doing what and what location, and there's maps with numbers. So these are actually all around us. Today we are going to talk quickly about timelines and diagrams. We have covered timelines a lot at school, so this should be a review. And then a diagram, you all know what we use diagrams. I just think some of you don't know that it's actually called a diagram. So, timeline and diagram, okay? This is the chart I made. If you need to pause it, you can. So, a timeline is used to record events over time, obviously, right? It's a line that shows time. It's a compound word. Excuse me. So, these dots represent dates, okay? So we have 1993, 1999, 2012, 2016 in May, and then we have 2016 in August. So pink is the description. So I just did kind of like a quick timeline of like major highlights in my life. So 1993, I was born. 1999, I started kindergarten. And remember, in kindergarten is when I said I wanted to be a teacher, so that's a big deal. In 2012, I graduated high school. 2016 in May, I graduated college. And then in 2016 in August, I became a teacher. So this timeline is about me. In the informational texts that you will read about, there will be like, we saw a timeline of the Common Era and before the Common Era, right? And 0 was in the middle. We had all these events that happened first, then it was the year 0, then the Common Era started, and all of these dates that happened next. Sometimes you will have to put things in order on a timeline, or other times they'll just ask you questions about the timeline. The good thing is, again, just like charts and graphs, you will always be able to prove your answer using the timeline. And they're actually pretty informative in terms of events and things that have happened, especially with the coronavirus. I've seen timelines that say like in January, this first started, January 27th, I think flights to China were stopped. And then, in February, the first U.S. case popped up. And then March 16th, school let out. And like all of that can be on a timeline. And timelines can spread as far as you want them to. Okay? Now, a diagram, I do not like the word picture in 4th grade. It is not an academic word. Okay? We have either photograph or illustration. Okay? A diagram is a photograph or illustration that just has labels, not a caption. Okay? So, a lot of times photographs will have captions. Illustrations most of the time don't, but this is an illustration that I made of a flower and just something real basic that we all are familiar with, okay? So here are my labels in blue, okay? Roots, leaves, stem, petals. Easy. Commonly, you see diagrams a lot in science, especially with like life cycles, and there's something with water like the precipitation, evaporation, and then it like does something in the clouds, and then it comes like the circle, okay? Those are all diagrams, okay? So I almost just asked you if there were any questions. Now that you kind of are more familiar with timelines and diagrams, you have a MobyMax assignment on timelines and diagrams. If you don't have technology at home, make sure you're following along in your packet, and I will see you tomorrow.